Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2014, our final stop of our Season 8 tournament. We've just finished off our first 2 games here in Group D. Don't worry, German people, it's fine. I'm going to call David Kim and we're going to get the Koreans nerfed. I can't think of anything else to do to help Hero Marine right now, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
David Kim's Korean, though.
I know, but he'll be okay with it.
Okay.
Or maybe not. Moving swiftly on then before we get ourselves into lots of trouble with Blizzard people, including Mr. Kim. He's okay. He'll let me off, hopefully. We do have a very, very important winners bracket final between INnoVation and MC. And I kind of thought this might be how it would work out. I think you did too. Looking at the bracket and the way that we've come through the results, MC 2-1 against Classic, we saw earlier, we spoke about it earlier. INnoVation then, you called it a bop. I think this might have been an ultra bop.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sad to say.
It was 2 different types of players. We've got Hero Marine, who's doing really well in the European scene, great in Germany. He's starting to challenge the best in Europe now, but you can't really go from being, German champion, challenging the best in Europe, to beating a world champion, winning, INnoVation winning WCS. So it's a massive, massive jump, and a lot of people were hoping he could make that jump, but it's not really possible. I mean,
in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. I mean, it's great experience. Come to your first big international tournament, player like INnoVation, kind of maybe, it shows him the gap. He now knows what he has to do. So it's all good experience at this age, surely. I mean, we can't all be Life and, go out there and win stuff at 16. We can't all be Maru and win stuff at 16. So I think it's great experience.
Especially because right now he's just turned 16. He is playing in EPS now and being able to challenge for the title. And more importantly, he's breaking into the WCS system and breaking into the European scene that way. So this is, being in this group, even if he was to lose in this group, like you said, he needs to take away valuable information, valuable experience from this group to bring it to the WCS Europe this year.
Okay, apparently, I'm being told right now that the matchup between these 2 players who are playing in the winners bracket final is exactly 50-50 right now. So if you haven't yet voted, please do go to the facebook.com/IEM page. If you haven't liked the page, like it first, and then you'll be able to vote in our polls. Just click on the little icon on the right-hand side which says poll, and you'll be given the chance to tell us who you think will win the winners bracket final between INnoVation and MC, which means I put you on the spot, Mr. Apollo.
I'm going to answer. I already knew my answer.
Okay.
My heart says INnoVation, my head says MC. And I think that's a decent answer, because I want to see INnoVation win, but I really believe MC is going to win. And he's standing there behind the camera, but I said you were going to win anyway, so I believe in you, Minchel.
So hold on, let me just get this clear so that MC can actually hear this for himself.
Don't say it again.
You're saying that your heart, where you love stuff, says INnoVation.
No.
But your head says MC.
Broken translation. Red eye.
Stop, MC! Steve the Speedling getting into a lot of trouble here right now. MC's going to go and get himself ready. We're ready. We hope you guys at home are ready.
Fighting
and here
MC.
in the studio are ready.
Fighting.
Because it's time for the winners bracket final in Group D. Chaps, take it away.
Nice one, guys. As now we get down to serious business. Serious business. MC versus INnoVation. The 7th spot in the round of 8 will be determined. It's going to be one of these guys, and oh boy, what a match. I think this happened in your tournament previously.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah.
And MC, he was able to come out on top with 3-2-2 after some very, very nice games where we saw a lot of different plays out of him. From map to map, MC is really the guy to really bring it to every player he ever plays against, no matter what the matchup, but in particular Terrans, because there's just so many openers that you can go for. Sometimes Blink, sometimes DTs, Stargates, greedy play. This man can do everything, and INnoVation. MC proved to be too much for him last time.
All right.
Now he's definitely gonna be looking for revenge.
All right, Todd. All right. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this. In StarCraft 2 terms, this is the old versus the new. This is MC, the 3-time GSL champion from God knows how long ago, or 2, I can't remember. Anyway, the point is that this guy, at the very start of StarCraft, he was it. He is the boss toss. And then when Kesper came along, there is INnoVation, the cyborg, the man that ruled it all for a long time. Old versus new. Old versus new.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point you bring here. The thing is, MC, he's been successful throughout his entire career on StarCraft.
Yes.
He's had a few slumps here and there, whereas he took a second place instead of only first places, but overall, he's doing really well right now. I mentioned this many times in Sao Paulo as well. Where I think he was playing the best StarCraft we've ever seen him play. So going up against INnoVation here, I feel like this is a very equal matchup. These two are very well matched up in terms of skill right now. And actually, Daedalus point going to be our first map here. Yonsu second. And I will wait until they sit down and put their headset on until I start talking strategy. I don't want to make them change their mind or something, because in case they'd hear me.
Oh, here we go. It's very rare you see INnoVation smile. He is, in fact, a robot.
I have to say, though, INnoVation, this game versus Hero Marine, that was him completely outclassing his opponent if I've ever seen it. So MC here going into this game, he had a nice win versus Classic, but not nearly as convincing as what INnoVation just did, basically attacking with the same amount of units and not losing much.
But then the caliber of the opponent in turn was differing somewhat when it comes to Classic versus Hero Marine. So we do have to take that into account here. We are in the winners match.
Don't say that next to the audience.
No, actually that's true. Sorry, guys. But Hero Marine for president. But INnoVation is certainly a butcher when it comes to plowing through games here in StarCraft. And then you have MC, the boss toss himself. So this for me is going to be a very, very exciting match. Yeah. It's what a lot of people anticipated going into this winners match. And this is going to determine our 7th spot. So we're just waiting for everyone to get into the game. Daedalus Point is our first map. And they have their headphones on, Todd. You can let loose.
All right. They didn't play Daedalus Point when they played recently, even though they played 5 games.
Yeah.
But the one time they played a kind of similar map, which was Yonsu, MC, he opted to open for some blink play. We've seen him use Daedalus points in Sao Paulo on Daedalus versus Stan and be quite successful with it. Do we see him again here, going for some kind of blink play? Is it on one base? Is it on 2 bases? And is INnoVation going to be ready? This is going to be some very important things to keep an eye on, because MC, he's so successful with Stalkers. Yeah. Stalkers and Sentries, they are the 2 units that made this guy win most of his money. I feel like he loves to use them. He uses them very, very well. And if INnoVation is not ready here, he's not going to have much of a chance against somebody like MC, who executes his builds so well. Actually, MC is starting to pull a little bit ahead on the poll here.
Yeah, so a few people doubting the power of INnoVation, but MC, you've mentioned it before. He has been so stable throughout the entire life of StarCraft 2. And now, I mean, you're right. It's he always gets blink. He always gets blink in almost every match.
Yes.
And he makes it work. He just really does. INnoVation is going to have to look out for that. He's going to have to be careful. It's certainly a map that he could be exploited on. And, you know, MC's not afraid. He's not afraid to do something like that.
Yonsu is actually our 2nd map, so we could save the blink for that one, but I don't feel like it. I really feel like there is a very good chance we're going to see blink here in the first map, and then he mixes it up in the 2nd map. MC has a very good Charge Lord Templar style. It's probably his best opener or transition right now in the matchup, in my opinion.
All right, guys, the countdown has begun, and we are getting loaded up into Daedalus Point between MC and INnoVation. These two have had the glittering careers of champions throughout all of their life in StarCraft 2. And now they face off against one another here to see who advances on to the round of 8. We've had stacked game after stacked game. This is the final group. This is the winners match. Spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our Red Terran representing Team Acer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is INnoVation. And down to the bottom right, we have our blue Protoss. I don't even need to say anything more. Give it up for MC!
MC, the boss toss, the president. Called me blind earlier, but it's okay.
You'll forgive him. You'll forgive him.
Out of him, I can forgive.
Yeah.
Not like I have a choice anyway.
No, indeed.
MC, this should be a Gateway 13, but behind this, what he does is going to be entirely up to him. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like a quick double gas, regardless of if he goes for a quick Nexus or not. I don't think I've seen MC go too often for one gas expansion. And I know that very often when I say that, it does end up happening. He's going to go for a quick scout, which again I like. This has been covered extensively. Talked about it many times. The better you know what you're up against, the more you're going to be able to adapt and react to it.
And INnoVation here just opening up with that reactor refinery timing to get his initial Reaper out and jump around. It's a good map to at least get one Reaper on so you can scout out your opponent, because for all intents and purposes, the main is very, very big. So it's an opportunity here for MC to hide something if he would like to. Very good.
I talked a lot about MC because I'm Protoss and I study these games very carefully. And we saw a few dead units there. But INnoVation, actually, remember what Red Eye mentioned earlier. He was watching Paul being also successful with a Reaper opener into 3 barracks and quite a few bio units. So if he goes for a similar opener here, remember, I've covered this as well. Playing Blink against this is going to be very, very tricky because there's going to be so much bio forces. And as Red Eye said, INnoVation was watching carefully those games and he looked very interested, especially with the way those games went from Pulse. So if he copies Pulse here, I will say this build, we're going to find out how blink-proof it is. Because earlier we didn't really get the chance, as the games went very, very well before we could find out
now,
how good Blink was.
Before, in the previous PBTs, we talked after it, and we were talking about the fact that if you do go for that triple barracks play, there is opportunities to try and exploit that as a Protoss player, because, you know, the medevacs don't come out that quickly.
Yeah.
So what would, if you knew you were going up against a Terran player with triple barracks, what would you do?
Just barely have enough to defend and go for lots of upgrades, because the Terran has to skip upgrades for quite some time as well. We saw Patience being successful with double Forge, actually, against something like that. And, well, the Reaper not going to be able to see anything here, but INnoVation does know that there is double gas up against him. He knows it's Daedalus. He's probably suspecting something like Blink. Now, MC, he knows that too. He knows that INnoVation knows. What does that cause out of him? Does he go for the Blink anyway? Does he go for a Stargate? He's going to get another Stalker. He could go for some kind of run-by past the bunker to try and do some damage. And INnoVation's not playing Pulse Tie. He's getting a factory.
Yeah, and you know, INnoVation, after poking around with that Reaper, realized that maybe something was up. So this bunker is very, very important, but at the same time, you mentioned it, you can run past that if you like. Another Stalker is on the way.
He might cancel. Yeah, he has a probe on the natural. I think he's going to cancel in a second.
That'd be nice to see. These units at the front for MC aren't really doing a whole lot now, other than just, you know, flexing his muscles and looking to expand behind that. He doesn't want he doesn't have confirmation yet that the expansion's up, but he does get it now, and he runs past the bunker, so this is annoying.
Double Stalker. This could do a ton of damage. INnoVation needs to pull a lot of SCVs, but he has only a very few.
2 Stalkers microing against this is going to be quite strong. He tries to focus down one of the Marines. It's in the time warp now, so he has to be careful. But meanwhile, that Mothership core is taking quite a bit of damage. The Zealot will tank for this as well. Eventually dies off, but these 2 Stalkers have a lot of room to micro in, so this is a lot of pressure onto INnoVation right now.
Yeah, and MC, he had to do that because he invested so heavily into this, and in the meantime, his Nexus is basically not even halfway through done right now. He had to do a lot of damage. The 3rd Stalker is going to rejoin this as MC is going to let those shields regenerate. Does INnoVation reveal the Widowman? He's going to counter with the Widowman.
Oh, and he hasn't spotted this. This snuck count. That's a very nice move here by INnoVation. But at the same time, a second Widowmine is on the way. So that might be able to provide a little bit of defense here whilst MC pressures on into the main and forces SCVs to get pulled off the line. Just a simple 1-gate poke here from MC is causing a lot of lost mining time for INnoVation, losing a lot of Marines.
There's nothing simple about this build, believe me. And right now it's all about crisis management. Can MC see the Widowmine across the map? No! He needs to force field and maybe get some units in. He has 2 sentries. MC's not paying attention.
This little guy, will he be able to burrow? Yes, he does! And a few probes get killed off in the process, but now he has to clean that up, and only just his robo facility even is halfway complete, so he's going to have to wait for a while for that to finish up. He's even transferring probes down from these mineral patches, leaving one there alone. Yeah, but very clever.
There's someone on the gases here. I don't think an observer will be out before this reloads here. And 30 probes to 28 SCVs. MC did quite some damage. Nice counter by INnoVation, who should be able to get some probes here in a second. Let's see what he targets.
And he tries to go for the further away probes.
Oh, he's trying to move.
That.
Not gonna happen.
Probes have sweet revenge.
And another Widowmine is making its way into the natural of MC. He's going all the way around. Even if he has an observer out, this could actually do... he should maybe burrow now and then go for it. MC is sensing this. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Did he see it? It was out of the vision, I think.
He didn't see it. He did not see that as it just trundled on in there. That's...
saving it for later. This is interesting. Such heavy mind games here, even with the smallest details with those Widow Mines. And MC is getting an Immortal. Do you think he's gearing up for a push, possibly, since he made those sentries?
I think so. I mean, if you see more than one sentry being produced at this point in time from a Protoss, you've got to be considering something very heavy, but he absolutely has to keep those Immortals out of vision of that Widow Mine.
And I think upon seeing what he's up against with an Observer here, he's going to have a choice to make, basically. Does he go for an attack, or does he play a little bit more defensively? Tech-wise, MC is not doing well. He's on 3 gates, 1 Robo, no Forge, no Robo Bay, and no Gases on his expansion. And actually, that Widow Mine on his expansion is getting very close to reloading before the Observer gets there. No!
Time's against him. That Widow Mine, kaboom! Gets himself a probe. So not too bad at all, and then will end up dying off for his troubles.
Medivac's on the way. I really like INnoVation's position in this game. He's gonna start dropping. He has actually he just salvaged the bunker back at home, so he's actually feeling quite confident. He has +1 on the way. He could throw down additional barracks. Look at his economy is great. 46 SCVs to 39 probes. This is an ideal situation for INnoVation.
Can this, in terms of MC preparing for maybe a little bit of a push here, does this also work out in terms of a defense? Because right now he's going to have to work out.
Exactly. I think MC realized that he doesn't have the tech.
Yeah, and that's actually a little bit brutal there for INnoVation. He has to fall straight on back. There is a pylon over on the left-hand side that just got spotted by INnoVation. So now he's going to start those bunkers, realizing, why do you have that many sentries as well as Immortals?
And this is going to be tough off a hold here. MC has a lot. I liked INnoVation's position, but I didn't think MC was going to go for a timing like this. He's going to have to pull a lot of SCVs if he wants to hold here.
This is going to be scary. Army supplies right now, 42 to 36 in favor of the boss toss as he looks to press on forwards. He sees, but also drops the scam to try and catch up that Observer. Does kill it in the end, but this is taking quite a bit of damage. He's already lost quite a few workers to this initial assault.
Yeah, the 2 bunkers will go up here, and
he bought the time for that.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
He has a lot of SCVs around those bunkers. That's exactly what kind of defense you need against this. MC is like, you know what? I know this is not going to work, so I'm just going to transition out of this. He's getting Twilight Council. Double Forge, actually. We've seen MC try to recover from deficit like this before and actually pulling it off. But no, against INnoVation, this looks really tough. He's getting a War Prism, most likely for some Zealous loaded up in it and some Harass, but if INnoVation starts on applying pressure, he's quite Marauder heavy actually against those Marauders.
I think
against those Immortals. Sorry.
The key thing here, though, for MC is to position his units very well initially, because he doesn't have charge, he doesn't have blink. The Twilight Council's only just finished, so he's going to have to greet any aggression we see from INnoVation instantly and have to be well positioned.
And a nice scan went down in the main here. He saw a lot of those gateways. He saw the Twilight Council, so he has to anticipate either blink or charge. In this case, more often than not, it's going to be charge, because blink in those big fights is going to be quite useless. So I think INnoVation, even though he's behind on supply, again, I like his position in this game right now. If he keeps on making a lot of Bioforces and he reaches a critical mass before there is AoE damage, aka Colossi or Templars, he's going to be in a great position to increase his lead or win.
But look how quickly INnoVation's transitioning onto the Ghost Academy. He dropped that scan and saw everything at the same time,
oh my God.
though.
What?
Oh, he's going to spot it. He's going to spot it.
Can he kill it before this flies away?
Talk about foresight.
Oh, and MC, he actually notices that. I really thought this was... Oh, actually, this lurker got excited inside of his cage over there. On
he moves around when you can see him. He's a scary little fella. But that's just amazing foresight from both players. I mean, INnoVation putting those Marines there initially, MC pulling back the time he did very quickly. Just great play from both of them.
But what I told you earlier, MC, he has one of the meanest Charge Lord Templar control and decision making. And here, he transitioned into this. He has no choice. I can't believe MC has as much supply as he does right now. I really thought he was falling behind this whole time when his low-tech army didn't do much. But he really made most of the situation. When he saw the 2 bunkers, he didn't commit. He started boosting out probes.
I mean, he lost a lot of mining time with those SCVs being at those bunkers. So that certainly evens things up a little bit here as MC now is preparing Storm. But again, INnoVation had that Ghost Academy very quickly. He doesn't see those Zealots warping in, but obviously he can infer it as that Warp Prism did escape the clutches of those Marines. So he's going to have to come back and defend that for quite a while.
This is what I've been waiting for. A Terran to finally go for very, very quick Ghost upon seeing he's up against Zealot Templar style. And I'm pretty sure that INnoVation is going to be gearing up to go for some kind of timing to basically
punish MC's position in this game. Even though he has a lot of probes, he has a good economy, he's going for 2-2. That means he's not taking to Colossus, since he wants to get Storm instead, which just completed. So with that late third, this is going to translate into some nice supply lead here very soon for INnoVation. If he goes for a ghost attack, last time that they played, actually, INnoVation won a quite long game where he had a lot of ghosts, and he made that look basically unbeatable. When he has a big army and lots of ghosts, if you don't surprise him with some nice storms, he's gonna crush you. And now he pulls the SCVs, he goes for it.
INnoVation, it's time, and he sees it as well. MC, how are you going to react?
Ooh, storm.
This is going to be scary. One of the storms will end up going down at the front, but really not doing too much. He has to be so careful. Army supply is very even, but those SCVs pack a whole lot of tanking punch as well. Force fields, oh great, EMPs land across the entire army, but High Templars from the top will come and blanket a few storms on those. Also flanking from the north as well. A lot of this army is down in terms of shields, it's down in terms of energy. The double time warp to try and deny this from pushing on forwards as INnoVation looks to seal the deal right here, killing a lot of those Zealots off, with Archons also pushing into the fray. More EMPs catching all of the shields on those Immortals, and a lot of this bio isn't actually microing back, but the army supply vastly in favor of INnoVation as he pushes on forward, killing off everything MC has here in game number 1. GG, game number 1 goes to the Terran. What a play.
Thank God, my prayers have been answered. I've been talking about this timing forever. I kept on mentioning it in all the PVTs that we saw, but never did a Terran finally go for a big attack when they had to. In this case, as much as the pre-storm timing is good, INnoVation, he was right to wait, because he was getting ghosts and he pulled the SCVs knowing that there was not many Templars out on the map. All he had to do was dodge these storms up to a certain limit. As long as he didn't completely get showered in them, he was going to be okay, because even though they did some damage, they didn't finish off the units, and he had 5 medivacs healing continuously. So MC actually stormed a bunch of those SCVs, which is not ideal either, and he just took the fight too early. He had to realize there was SCVs. The only way MC could have held this is if his Nexus was maybe already up and the photon charge would really help, hitting a little bit better storms. In this case, I think basically giving up his third base would have been better. Staying up the ramp of his natural, getting a lot of cannons, seeing this coming. Sadly for him, he did not see this coming. He saw it too late. He had to fight. He was out of position. And INnoVation takes the win here. And actually, 2-2, the 2-2 of MC, which was also important to get, finished as he had 7 army supplies. So it's not ideal. And INnoVation, interesting thing to note, he was on 1 eBay for most of the game. He made the +1 attack, and he followed it up with the +2 attack. That's why it was so ideal to go for an SCV pull and kill his opponent.
Well, now INnoVation stands on the verge of moving on to the round of 8. After a superbly strong push there, hitting a brilliant time. And even during that push, even when we saw that push come, there was no armor upgrades for INnoVation. He was all about the power. He was all about crushing on forth. I suppose, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at a replay of that, but it'd be interesting to see actually how he was allocating his gas to get that Ghost Academy out at the particular time that he did, etc., going into that game. But such strong execution, really strong execution, and a brilliant fight at the end. I was really enjoying that, as you can probably tell.
Yes, me too. I liked a lot of the things that MC did. You know, pulling back after he saw that the 2 bunkers were up and the Immortal push was not going to work. This is actually really smart. He's starting chrono boosting out probes right away. He went into Charge Lot Templar, which, as good as it is, the Ghosts do come out with 75 energy now. So INnoVation, he knew he was going to have some EMPs to work with, not just snipe. And this timing was so strong. With all the SCVs that he had, he was a little bit ahead on the army supply. Those SCVs, they were going to tank so much. It was all about the storms, and really, really nicely done here by him. He knew he had a third too, so even if this didn't work, as long as he killed enough behind this, he was going to have a lot of mules to work with. I guess if MC holds with like 60 probe against 20 SCVs, it's still very tricky for this to work, but the fight could actually last a very long time because of this. In this case, this was quite a one-sided fight. At the end of it, INnoVation had like 60 or more army supply, MC at 7. So
it was exceedingly strong. And I think, despite a few storms landing here and there, he needed more prep time. He needed the ability to land brilliant storms against something like that, which hits with so much devastation there against MC.
Yes.
And you say you've been talking about that timing for a while. Are you telling me that you're trying to help the Terrans here? Is this what I'm hearing?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe.
Well, they don't need help to beat me because I'm already losing to them. But
I don't think INnoVation needs help from anyone, I'll admit.
You know, when I cast, even though I'm a Protoss player and I like to see Protoss players win, a lot of them have been winning. So I try to be neutral. And right now, I'm really enjoying those Terran wins because we see so few of them.
Yeah, it's true.
And I try to be as neutral and unbiased as possible. And in this case, the win here from INnoVation fills me with joy. I'm not going to say that I don't want to see MC advancing either. I'm not going to go that far. But this guy is playing so well, and he deserves to win this game. That's all there is to it. That was an extremely clutch timing, and we'll see what they go for in second game. Remember what I said, by the way. He did not use the blink in the first game. Does he go for it in the second game? This is going to be Yonsu here.
That's true. He certainly has the option to here on Yonsu, as we will be getting into our second game in a second here. So, Boss Toss currently 1 game down. INnoVation showed such strength in game number 1. And, you know, when they were talking about previously how much you can measure INnoVation's form from his previous series. And again, Zero Marine, maybe not so much, but after seeing that game, do we see the same Ghost Academy timing after he drops the scan and, you know, sees what his opponent's up to? Of course, it all determines on if he sees Robo Bay or Twilight Council. But in the end, INnoVation, even if he sees Robo, even if he sees Robo Bay, he's still going to have the ability to move on, get Vikings out, and be pretty comfortable because he's INnoVation.
That was definitely some pretty cool player here out of him. Very, very solid, always looking to play the solid way. I don't think I've ever seen INnoVation cheese. Have you?
That's actually a good point. I don't think so. I can't remember.
We have to like search in the great library.
We're going to get that one tweet from that guy. Yes, he did in Korean Weekly number 555. It's like, wait a minute. But no. For now, we're getting into game number 2 here. Yonsu is our map. Mr. Minchul, he's been looking so strong over the past couple of tournaments, but he got blindsided there in game number 1. So let's get right on into it. INnoVation versus MC to determine who moves on to the round of 8. Down to the bottom left, red even Terran, getting colorblind. Representing Team Acer, ladies and gentlemen, it's INnoVation.
It's the 2 of us.
The hands of this man. Up to the top right, as the blue Protoss. It's the boss toss, it's MC.
Taking a deep breath here. Definitely gonna have to do better than he did in previous game. I quite like the pressure he went for. He did some damage, but INnoVation just reacted very, very well to it. That counter-attack with the Widowmine, I was skeptical, but actually, I think if MC had noticed this and force-fielded on time, it didn't take any damage from it, then he would have been quite far ahead. Because he killed, I think, 6 SCVs, but then he ended up losing 2 probes, at least 2 more from the next detonation, and just INnoVation perfect in the details. The way he hit that Widowmine at the natural of his opponent.
It's like one would look at those numbers of workers lost and say that MC started to, you know, even things up or whatever, but you've got to also remember that INnoVation's command center was a lot earlier than his opponent's Nexus, so he has the replenishment capabilities available to him at that point.
Gas 12 again, a blink map again. Does he go for it, man?
Does he go for it?
MC goes for a scout. He's already on double gas, so it's gonna be tricky here to basically not have this scouted, because INnoVation, I'm sure, is basically gonna focus his effort into scouting some kind of blink play. He's gonna want to know if there is a Twilight early on. He's gonna want to know if he's about to be under attack, and if he uses the Pulse build, man, we're gonna have some unanswered questions finally answered here.
That first Reaper's on the way. It's going to have a look around eventually when it gets over there. And interestingly enough, I'm not seeing MC really care too much about Reaper's movement in his base. Normally, we're just seeing MC throw his buildings down in normal places, whereas most Protoss right now are building walls in between mineral lines and things like that. MC does not care.
Which is a little bit surprising, because those good building placement, they definitely help a lot. He's getting a Zealot here. Going to be interesting to see if he cancels that upon seeing that the SCV is in position to block his natural, but I don't think he has any intention to start a very, very quick Nexus, because look, 3+3 on the gases.
Yeah, and this has all been spotted. So INnoVation knows what's going on in terms of that. He's going to head down to the natural and have a look around, but wait a minute. You feisty little probe down to the bottom right-hand corner. What are you up to?
Oh, you cheeky one, you.
Oh, hey, you said cheeky. That was brilliant. Well, we do have that probe and pylon down to the bottom right. So INnoVation, how well is he going to be able to scout out? He has that Reaper available to him. That's one of the defining factors of a Reaper. It can scout things out very fast.
What we've seen happen very often in this situation is basically the Reaper confirming there is no Nexus by a certain time, in which case it goes and scouts the entire map for some kind of proxy. But in this case, INnoVation, he does not even need to confirm there is no Nexus. He still looks for it. So is he going to find it, though? It's going to be tricky. Ooh. And MC, I think he knows that. That's why he's moving across the map. He might do the same type of run by that he did in previous game.
Tries to get a pot shot off on this Reaper.
INnoVation's going for the same thing, by the way. He's going to have Widow Mines to work with against this. And this was a Twilight, so Dark Shrine or Blink, since MC's left the probe at that location, I think it's going to be a Dark Shrine.
Yeah.
And this is so smart, because if INnoVation expects Blink, he's not going to have an eBay, he's not going to have turrets, in which case, with Scan, it's actually very tricky to defend against this.
Well, for now, INnoVation's just building up along here and not really preempting too much. He's sending... Wait a minute, the Reaper's going over to the natural once again, and he's going to know how far along it is when this probe actually throws it down. He doesn't even see it. It's not even there. So now he has to have alarm bells ringing. He has to prepare a defense very quickly. Dark Shrine is on the way.
And you know what? If this was Blink, it will not be... most likely not be hidden out on the map, and there will be gateways made in the main. So that Reaper here... This is definitely going to be a big tell to INnoVation that it could actually, in fact, be very likely be Dark Templars. And by the way, that probe on the expansion was killed just right before it could throw down the Nexus.
And he started his engineering bay at a perfect time. This is really, really nice for INnoVation. It only takes 35 seconds to build compared to the Dark Shrine that takes 100. So it's this is lining up nicely.
MC, because of all these mishappenings, is on a single gateway. All he can make, as that Dark Shrine will finish, is a single Dark Templar. And there is a turret on the way. Insanely good position here for INnoVation.
I mean, he's happy to take all of these precautionary measures because he knows his opponent doesn't have a Nexus. He doesn't need to be making a million SCVs and just powering up super economically. As long as he holds on, he knows he's going to have the stronger economy, guaranteed, against a Nexus that he may end up even seeing with this Reaper if he's careful about it.
INnoVation is playing so well right now.
Yeah.
And that Reaper is going to basically see how many gateways there are. It sees that there is a Robo on the way. And we'll see if he chooses to go for some kind of a Widow Mine attack at some point anyway. Oh, he's moving a Widow Mine out of his natural right now. Where is it queued? Right into the natural. I think he realized that these observers, they might be a little bit late to the party. So he's going to try to get there, hoping that his opponent maybe is out of position.
I mean, for a second there, but MC almost threw down a second Twilight Council behind his mineral line. But realizing he has it, does start Blink instantaneously down at that proxy location. So,
can you believe that only a single unit has died this game so far?
Well, 2 now. That Reaper just fell. Oh, and 3. But that was cast a
You
curse
found
for
it
sure.
Hilarious, huh? Okay, up until the 8th minute, only 1 unit had died. Only a scout.
Yeah.
Which is definitely interesting, considering all the things that happened. But going for Blink behind this, I have to wonder, is this defensive Blink? Since MC is taking both of the gases on his expansion, I guess so. And you know what? INnoVation, he might be assuming that this is going to be charged and very quick Templar play, which it is not. So if he gets over-eager, if he goes for some kind of Medivac drop and this gets caught, he's going to be in lots of trouble. This could go very bad for him.
And
you have to be careful.
In the end, INnoVation, I think he could probably infer the fact that... I mean, he's seen the entirety of his opponent's main for the most part. Poor little Marine there.
Like that 4 units. And that Widow Mine is going to spot the win. That Observer.
It would have done in beta, but not any longer.
Thank God.
That would have been crazy.
But Robo Bay behind this.
Yeah.
So MC is going Blink into Colossus. And you know what? This is really going to trick his opponent. There is no way INnoVation is expecting this right now. But as soon as he's going to start applying pressure, he's going to realize what he's up against, which is what we should see soon as the first 2 Medivacs will enter the field. So MC still has to make something special happen. Taking the right way is not enough to outdo somebody like INnoVation. And you know what? I'm really scared for those buildings on the right-hand side. Because if INnoVation flies by with a Medivac, this is basically dead. He's going to drop and kill that.
Well, this is what I was trying to say before. I mean, he's scouted out the majority of his opponent's base and not really seen these buildings. So where else could they really be? So, INnoVation has to have some inkling that it's, somewhere else, surely.
MC saw everything though. He saw the third command center, the 2 additional barracks. He knows there are medivacs down on the map. You see right now he's cutting probes. He's only making units. He's going to get his first Colossus in a second. He should be looking to basically increase his Stalker count just because he has Blink. Going up to something like 8, 10 would be really, really nice and help defend against the aggressions of his opponent. Oh, did he spot those medivacs with the Observer? I think so.
Yes, he did.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. INnoVation might have to scan or he's going to have to boost out of there as he sees those Stalkers. But MC, if he's so good, he might blink down.
Blink, blink, oh!
But then, they get him.
That doesn't work. No, abort mission. That is going to hurt him just a little bit. He needs to blink back up here. But at the same time, the Stalkers can provide the ample firepower to actually catch it regardless. So that could have gone badly.
Jump off the cliff.
And in the end, he does. Not in the way he would like to.
This could have gone so much better here for MC.
That was weird. But now those medevacs are going to have to... Well, one of those medevacs is going to have to go straight on home.
Okay. MC has been cutting pro production to make sure he can get enough units. He doesn't have a single force. So now, right now he has a choice. You see he's adding extra gateways. I think he goes all in from this. With a lot of Blink Stalkers and 3 Colossus.
That's a lot of gateways.
It's either that or he's going to throw down double forge very soon. But he knows there is a very quick third command center and probably not many Vikings from his opponents. So I do think he's going to go for an all-in here. This is going to be tricky, especially since INnoVation, look at how quick his +2 is. MC is still 0-0.
Uh-oh. Well, INnoVation now is trying to prepare himself. There's a few observers still keeping an eye on his opponent's army movement, and he will drop a scan and catch one of those observers in the end. INnoVation, will he be prepared? And he sees the move out. He sees it, Todd.
Yes, and INnoVation, he knows what's up. Look, he's not making SCVs anymore. He's only making units right now. He needs maybe a few bunkers to help with this. He's bringing his orbital command to help and spot this.
Behind all of this, has got a Ghost Academy going down as well, but the blink begins for MC. He actually blinks forwards aggressively. He has to be very, very careful about that.
The upgrades, man. The upgrades are telling the story here. INnoVation is about to 3-2-1. This is going to be so close. Can MC attack just right before? He's looking to do that.
4 Vikings versus 2. These Colossi have the ability to actually lay waste to a little bit of this army if he gets the opportunity to. The army supplies right now pretty even. 83 army supply against 88. But at the same time, there's a few SCVs here. The lines of force fields are good, holding back a lot of this whilst the Colossi go to work. And the Stalkers still remain. Still catching a Viking there. But now there's no more force fields, so MC has to be careful.
No more Quadrant Shield, most of all. This is going to be very tricky. I think INnoVation, he's going to be in a good position here. As long as he does not mess up, as long as he's patient, he should be able to win this. MC, we've seen him before in this situation, trying to pull this off versus other Terrans like MMA.
He absolutely, though, needs to make sure that that Viking count stays high, does INnoVation. He needs to keep those alive. He's constantly adding on even more. More pylons get added on at the front here for MC to warp in almost straight into the fight. And he actually has to raise this natural to try and deter this. And it looks like he's going to end up going. An extra Colossus entered the fray. He blinks to the left-hand side here. Catches 3 of those Vikings very, very quickly. There's only 2 to deal with 3 Colossus. It's going to be really hard here for INnoVation to continue on.
He lost patience here. He was supposed to stay up his ramp and keep on mining. But because of this, now he used him on most of his army. And this is such a tricky fight.
A few force fields go down once again. There's really nothing contesting these 3 Colossi that are doing a lot of damage. But he stems forward. He tries to pick up one with the bio. He does end up getting it. But the 2 Colossus still remain. INnoVation taking a lot of damage. The army supplies, though, swing in favor of INnoVation. He kills off the ground army. And those Colossi are left over. He stims for great victory. And they're so close to death, but catches them in the end anyway. INnoVation at the natural is able to hold on against MC.
Yeah, and MC, he has no transition out of this. All he can make right now are gateway units, zealots, stalkers, sentries, and units out of the robo. He's going to start an immortal.
His income's a lot better though, Todd.
Yeah, but... Okay, let me put it simply for you. Marauders are 2-1. Gateway units are 0-0.
Yeah,
so, you would need a lot more supply to be able to win against this, and this Dark Templar is not going to change anything about that.
Yeah, if the upgrades had been just a little bit more for MC, well, more than anything, then he probably would have done a whole lot better there, but now
the thing is that 3rd command center was sniped. If this had not happened, I think INnoVation will be in a much better position than he is now. But since he only has double mule right now, I'm actually surprised he's not even remaking a turret. He's just basically anticipating MC, not trying to go for another DT run by. And there's actually one of the watchtower here.
It's a bit of a sticky spot though, because INnoVation with the income that he has at the moment feels a little bit apprehensive about moving out because he knows he hasn't done any damage to his opponent's eco line, and he knows that MC can still replenish. So despite him having the upgrade advantage here, it's still it's hard for INnoVation to really say, yes, this is my time.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have much information on where MC's economy is at. Is he getting a transition out of this? Does he almost have Storm? One way to do that is to go forward and try and see what he's up against, but then he's afraid to maybe be committing to a fight. But regardless, he's not going to have a choice. Like, he has a very, very strong army. He knows it, and he's going to go forward, and it's going to be so hard for MC to. I cannot believe that MC is still ahead on supply.
Yeah,
he's doing such a good job of making units continuously, never missing a single warp-in cycle.
The thing is that this is still probably INnoVation's time here. Those upgrades are a big factor, and the army supplies are dead even.
He's gonna wait. 3 ghosts on the way.
Oh,
and this is so smart.
Yeah.
He actually started this Ghost Academy before this attack even began. You know why? Because he was anticipating some kind of Templar transition after maybe 1 or 2 Colossus. He didn't realize this was gonna be Blink plus Colossus all in.
And he's keeping an eye on the 3rd base as well, so he does kind of have a degree of level when it comes to knowing where his opponent's economy is, so he can continue on.
Charge might be needed with this many Zealots, and MC, he was really, really scared of a counter-attack, so he skipped that for a very long time. He goes for a 3rd base.
I think INnoVation pulls the SCVs when he gets those ghosts, right? Like, I'm not sure.
Might do that soon, yeah. We have a single Colossus out right now, a 2nd one on the way. MC still ahead on supply. INnoVation being very indecisive right now, even though he has the upgrade advantage, he's quite scared of what MC might have. I do think that if he had attacked with the superior army supply and the better upgrades, he would have been able to end it with some nice third step and all that, especially since there was no charge. Imagine what the fight would have looked like. Ridiculous.
Yeah, MC would be completely lost in that fight as an INnoVation now. Well, MC knows. He sees the quality of his army with this Dark Templar. That's really good information here for MC.
Yes, and the thing is, MC is really scared of an attack, as he should be. He still hasn't started a single upgrade.
Oh.
So even though INnoVation is letting MC come back in terms of supply and army composition right now, the upgrades are still going to matter a lot in the next fight. And, that factory placement, man. He sees everything. He's not even going to need to scan.
Yeah. And
the ghosts are at the front. The EMPs are going to be very important, obviously.
Yeah, this is going to happen one way or another. Photon Overcharge actually gets activated, and he does have that 3rd base actually mining now because he flew it over from his main. So that is a way that INnoVation can keep his income alive here in this game. Despite only having 36 workers to the 47, he hasn't replenished any of them since he lost them. So it's not really the strongest of economies. INnoVation
actually spotted that 3rd base of MC, but he chose not to engage anyway. Do you know why? Because he saw the Colossi. And his Viking count was extremely low, as in 0. Right now it's 2. So I think he's going to wait until he has enough Vikings and then fight. MC, he realizes that his timing, or at least he would like to fight, you know? Yeah. As much as he wouldn't like to fight because he knows his opponent's army is very strong, he knows that he has no upgrades. He knows that the Terran opponent he's facing right now has very, very good upgrades. So he has to fight very soon until it's too late. This game feels like it, for the last couple of minutes, it's been caught in limbo. Neither player really wanting to do too much, but the 3 Colossi now move forwards as MC realizes just how many Vikings he has, which break the rocks
isn't a whole lot. Break the rocks, got him.
Classic trap.
Well, and even the +1 weapons for the Vikings that started now here for INnoVation. So that's a good choice, actually, if he can get it finished in time. This is such a weird game. We're seeing an MC. He's going to go for a big fight here. Actually, he's not. He's really thinking about it, but I think in the end he might choose probably not to go for it. If he gets in there, the concave is already set up for INnoVation. It's oh so scary. Look, he's getting a Templar Archive, he's getting more Colossus. I think MC should go for like something like double Forge to try and at least get 1-1, you know? Well, it's a good point. He still doesn't have any upgrades. He just doesn't have the firepower behind it necessary to really deal with that, because those the Zealots are going to evaporate under this, especially with EMPs. Absolutely. Under those EMPs, it's going to be hard for those to even stay alive under that. And I absolutely love that INnoVation is getting ship weapons right now. By the time this finishes, he's going to have like 10 Vikings or more. And this is going to do so much damage to the Colossus. Since there is probably not going to be all that many Templars or Archons, this could be enough for him to win. But as I say, that 4... Okay, actually, this is weird. MC is upgrading Storm, but he still went for Archons. I think he might want to go for a timing before Storm finishes and then basically warping Templars back at home for some kind of counter-attack. The thing is, if he loses his army too hard, this is not going to matter having Storm or not. And the Colossus count is very, very scary. And he certainly could lose his army hard if he's not careful. But at the same time, 8 Vikings is still not the real magic number to deal with those 5 Colossi. The weapons will finish in just a second, though. MC, he strays on forwards. But now that those Vikings are a whole lot more powerful. And this puts, once again, another timer over MC's head. He starts double forge. I don't think he actually ever wants to take an engagement here. He's just flexing.
He can't.
Yeah.
There is no way. The concave is way too good for INnoVation. And believe me, I've thrown away a lot of armies myself.
Know that.
MC, if he's the one waiting down the ramp, then INnoVation, he cannot go down the ramp because he will get quite crushed himself if that happened. So, is this a draw? No, it's not. Of course it's not. Definitely think that at some point INnoVation is going to be able to engage, especially if MC just stays there with his entire army and INnoVation attacks from 2 sides.
And the funny thing how this works out is that the army of supplies are actually a whole lot more than you would normally see in a PvT because of how low both of them are on workers at the 25-minute mark when neither player really replenished after taking damage. MC was stuck on 46 for a long time. I mean, he was just going for the aggression, but INnoVation hasn't replenished still since like 36 workers.
This is a game
crazy.
of patience right now, and I think MC might go for an attack very soon here. He's maxed out, and I know it's risky to say this because we haven't had anything, but hold on. INnoVation's moving on. 5 Templars!
Oh, those Templars could do quite a bit of damage, and he does actually catch them with an EMP at the end, but they're still sitting in the storms. Those Vikings absolutely have to kill off these Colossi if he's looking to take the engagement, looking to win the engagement. But a lot of the units on the ground for MC do not have shields left anymore. The army supply is swinging in favor of INnoVation as he continues to batter down the hatches when it comes to those Stalkers. The Colossi fall, and INnoVation, with superior upgrades, is able to manhandle through MC.
MC had a great army. He had a lot of Colossi, he had Templars flanking from the side, but in the end, not able to hit enough storms. INnoVation's reflex. Beautiful this fight. He EMP'd those, and the upgrade difference gonna secure himself the win here.
It's all too much. INnoVation, he's pressing on for the win. He's pressing on for the round of 8 as he kills off Stalker after Stalker, focusing down those high Templars, knowing that the storm is available to him. It does land, but it doesn't really do a whole lot now, as there's no supporting units to complement that storm, trying to catch on back, but INnoVation knows he's done it. He knows he's won. GG. INnoVation advances on 2-0 here, onto the round of 8. As the handshake, and now it's all been determined, guys. Group D is INnoVation land. And unfortunately for MC, he has to fall down to the lower side of the bracket, the lower side of things, to play against either Hero, Marine, or Classic. And you always want to go through in first place, because then you guarantee yourself a second place finisher from one of the other groups, someone who had a little bit of a harder time advancing on. But regardless, the groups are always so stacked here at the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. We've lost a lot of very strong players, and the next series will determine the next one to fall out of the tournament as well.
Actually, INnoVation, if you think about it, since he took first, he will meet either Jaedong, Jack G, or Hero.
Yeah.
But the second in this group will meet Pult, Patience, or Rain. Isn't that quite as hard? Like, this tournament is so stacked that
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, advancing is all that matters in this tournament, believe me. And INnoVation is going to be our player advancing as first. That was very, very impressive. You know what? He read the game so well from start to finish. He had the 2-1 upgrades. He did not go for +3. I think he could have, but it's easy to say when you see everything. And with these upgrades, I'm actually surprised that he moved Dart at the time he did. And that reflex, those EMP on the Templars definitely sealed the deal here, because I almost had a heart attack when those 5 Templars moved in, like the entire army was like grouped up. I was like, close your eyes, this is not going to be pretty. But in the end, the EMP saved the day.
It certainly did. All right, guys. Well, that does it. INnoVation advances on to the round of 8. Without further ado, let's hear from the man himself.
Thank you very much, champs. With INnoVation from Team Acer. Congratulations, well played. Talk about the 2 maps overall. First map, very close all the way through. I think the commentator said you had 7 left in terms of army supply at the end of that first game. It might have made a difference in units for MC. Were you worried at any point in that big fight in game 1 that it wasn't going to work out for you?
첫 번째 맵에서 엄청 치열한 싸움 끝에 이겼는데 좀 싸움을 하면서 걱정이 됐었는지. 첫 번째에서.
제가 초반에 피해를 조금 봐가지고 확신은 없었는데 이상하게 운이 좋아서 이겼던 것 같아요. 저도 가면서는 확신이 없었어요.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could win that fight because I was kind of behind from the beginning. So I think I got a bit lucky.
A little bit lucky. Okay, I don't believe you, but that's okay. Second map, it seemed like you were just waiting for the right time. You had the upgrade lead. MC was getting a little bit impatient. Were you conscious that he was behind and you were just waiting for the right time?
이제 두 번째 게임에서는 우린 맞고 이제 계속 기다리는 것 같았었는데 제대로 된 시기가 올 때까지 어떤 생각을 하고 그런 플레이를 했었는지.
상대 올인을 막았는데도 SCV가 너무 많이 잡혀가지고 불리하다고 생각했는데 상대 병력이 업그레이드가 아예 안 된 상태여가지고 그냥 조합만 잘 갖추면 이길 수 있다고 생각해가지고 계속 기다렸어요.
Yeah, well, actually, I thought I'm behind after I defended the all-in because I lost so many SCVs. But then I noticed that he didn't have any upgrades, so I thought if I get a good composition, I can win this for sure.
Okay, well, congratulations. I want to ask you one more question. I want you to answer this in English for me. Can you win the Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne?
여기에서 우승할 수 있는지 영어로 한번.
예?
영어로 한번 우승할 수 있는지.
Sure.
Okay. The Terrans carry on fighting. Polt went through earlier on. INnoVation makes it through now to the quarterfinals of the Intel Extreme Masters here in Cologne. Time to break down exactly how this Terran won by another very special Terran.
Okay, hopefully you can see me now or soon. We're going to be jumping into that last game on Yonsu. Oh, by the way, I'm QXC, in case you didn't know by my voice. And so basically what happened here is MC opened on one base, double gas, fast DTs, and INnoVation completely shut it down. And what that sets up for the whole rest of the game then is MC is behind. He's behind on workers, which puts him behind on tech, behind on upgrades. And so if we take a look at the game state right now, this is when he's doing his Blink Stalker Colossus pressure, we can see the upgrades are the really big story. This is really the huge difference in the game, and this is all because of the way MC opened and because INnoVation stopped it. This Blink Colossus play, you usually do it with 0-0-0, that's fine, but normally you'd want it to hit earlier before your opponent is really able to get into this +2/+1 or just 1-1 or whatever. And so this is MC's moment. This is the last chance that he really has to get back into this game, because as soon as those +2/+1 upgrades finish, INnoVation is in such a commanding lead. Basically, if whenever MC decides to spend the gas to try and catch up on upgrades, he'll be behind on tech. INnoVation will catch up on those tech units, and as we saw, he'll be able to take the fight. So if we take a look here and just kind of watch the way MC uses his army, it's really, really powerful. The Colossus giving him a huge amount of range. Watch as the Vikings get in close. Snipes one Viking. The Vikings forced to retreat. Boom, snipes a second Viking. Every time the Vikings get in close to fight the Colossus, MC is right on top of them, and he's able to use the Colossus's range to do a lot of damage here. But MC is really on the clock. The longer he waits, the more Vikings accumulate, the harder this position becomes for him. And I think he's kind of feeling the pressure. Basically, what ends up happening is instead of continuing to pick off those Vikings, okay, this is kind of the key moment. He kills a couple Vikings here, brings the count down to 2. He's got some good force fields, time warps. This is perfect for MC. This is exactly what he wants to happen, but he needs it to happen again. He needs it to happen one more time. And now he takes the fight into INnoVation's concave and overestimates the power of his army. If the upgrades were even here, MC can take that fight. INnoVation has no Vikings, he's got a lot of Stalkers in front, but because of that huge upgrade disparity, MC overcommits to this battle. He does not continue to harass with those Colossus, and it just puts INnoVation in a great place, and he's able to take the rest of the game. So I think now we're going to be sending it over to Paul, who's going to be doing something.
Thanks, Kevin. Good job, Kev. He's not quite as good as the other Kev, if you know what I mean, but he's a good stick anyway. Thank you for stepping in and doing some analysis. Great stuff there from QXC. And now it's time to go to a quick break. But when we come back, ladies and gents, it's the big one. That's right. It's Classic versus Hero Marine for the last chance to stay alive in Group D. We've got one spot remaining after INnoVation claimed the 7th spot in the quarterfinals. Don't forget, you can still interact with us and tell us your thoughts via all the usual social media channels, facebook.com/IEM, and on Twitter, use the hashtag #IEM and tweet at us if you want, at IEM. And if all that doesn't float your boat, then YouTube is sure to do so, youtube.com/ESLTV for all the latest video on demand. Going to be released right after the tournament. And if replays are your thing, good news on that front too, because we're going to be releasing the replays for Intel Extreme Masters Cologne right at the end of the tournament itself. Stay tuned, because the next game is a big one if you're a German fan. It's Hero Marine versus Classic.